Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bob's Garage. So I was just asked the question, did I buy my car, my S4, knowing that it was a project car, or as a project car? My answer to them was yes and no. So, I originally bought the car because of, well, a few different reasons. One was because of the aftermarket support that's still around, and two was the community support. So if there were any problems, there was somewhere I could go, people I could talk to figure this out. And along with that goes the huge forum support and you know archive of knowledge, I guess you could say, that already exists. So a lot of the stuff on these cars has already been done, is all around, has been around, and all that for many years. You just have to do a little bit of digging for it, or to find it. But the other reason is, I originally always wanted to get a Bug-Eye WRX. And I would say probably since about 2001, I've just been obsessed with always wanting to get a Bug-Eye WRX. And, so I was at the point where I was like, alright, if I could find a clean one. I live in the Chicago area. It's hard to find clean cars in general. But, so I was like, well, let me see if I can find a clean one. So there was one probably about 2 months before I was ready to buy a car that was on eBay that was just pristine. It was silver, stick shift, all that. And I couldn't make it happen at the time. So what ended up coming about was I came across this TV series called Are You Faster Than a Redneck? And I came across all these videos on YouTube, and basically it's a race show where they just race, I believe it's just an oval track, and they do like a couple laps, and any person can bring any junk that they got and race against the rednecks, which essentially the rednecks are the people that star in the show, and they have track built muscle cars. So anything from old Mustangs to old Dodges, and just badass muscle cars purposely built for racing, road racing, not just drag racing. Well, everyone's bringing Hondas and WRXs and a little bit of everything out there, BMWs and just everything. Well, one of the people that was actually able to win, he had I want to say it was a Stage 3 B5 S4 Avant, and he basically took the whole show by storm. No one ever expected a station wagon to be able to spank these badass muscle cars. So they have a series of stages that they have to go through. There's I think there's like 2 or 3 heats that they run, to the point where as they win, they knock out other racers, and then to take home the prize, it's, I don't know, $10,000 or something like that they win and go home with. So once I started researching more into these cars, that's when I learned how basically badass they are. And this met my criteria, similar to some of the reasons why I wanted a Subaru WRX. All-wheel drive, turbo, and the reason why this Audi won over the Subaru was just the build quality and the quality of the interior. Anyone that's ever been in a Subaru knows it's kind of like riding in a go-kart. Years ago I owned a Ford Aspire. And the Ford Aspire was a nice car. It saved a lot of gas. It was a gas sipper, all that good stuff. But that's exactly what the WRX reminded me of. So the interior's bumpy and rattly, and it's noisy. You can hear wind noise, and the doors aren't really solid, and the seats are just uncomfy, and all that stuff. So when I started looking into the B5 platform, or Audi in general, I just fell in love with the interior. Everything from the leather seats to just all the features that the Audi platform offers that many other platforms don't offer. So my 2002 Audi can do some things that a brand new Lexus can't even do, like a Lexus RX 350. So stuff like roll the windows down, roll the windows up, stuff like that with the remote control. The coding that you can do for different things. So I'll actually do a video on recoding the car, because that was some of the coolest things that I came across to be able to do. But so that's a little background on as to why I picked this car. It's such a pain in the ass to work on. It really is. But at the end of the day, it's like, where else are you going to get, a luxury car for? This is basically the best bang for the buck. So this was, I want to say, a $50,000 car new, and we're getting it for a fraction of the price, of course. But then, it's a pain to work on, but the knowledge is there. So if you got the time to put in, it doesn't actually take that much money. You have to pick up some new tools that work with Audis that don't work on domestics, but other than that, it's worth it. It's fun. And the turbo, man, so it started out, wanting the Bug-Eye WRX, but then before then, I always wanted a Buick Grand National. And as we know, those are V6 turbocharged. And, this is basically a modern Buick Grand National. I'll say it. I'll be the first to say it. This is a four-door sedan designed for those that have kids. I have a 3-year-old. This works perfectly. And barely any mods to the car, and we're running 13s in the quarter mile. So where are you going to do that with a Subaru or whatever? I think stage 1 for an S4 blows the doors off of a stage 2 WRX. So it's like night and day. I studied the WRX platform for many years. I bought every single magazine that had articles on the Bug-Eye WRX. And people would spend thousands of dollars to get 5-10 horsepower. With this S4, you drop in a chip and you get 50 to 100 horsepower in torque. It's nuts. So, you know what? The best part, too, about this old car is I can go around and buy up everyone else's old parts and crap they have laying around for pennies on the dollar that they spent, and do it myself. Downpipes, turbos, fuel injectors, chips, ECUs, TCUs, exhaust components, everything. People are, dumping them. All those guys are going into wilder builds, or they're getting out of it because they're running out of money or whatever. And, to be honest, I don't know how people could afford to pay shops to mod these cars back in the day, because it's a lot of money. But you know what? God bless them. So that's a little background as to why I like this S4 platform. And obviously I would love to get a newer one, but the money is just ridiculous for what they're fetching. But yeah, so here you have it. And I hope you enjoy these videos. So please comment, rate, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.